Kansas was getting ready to issue the City of Hays a new NPDES permit, which is National Pollutant Discharge Elimination System permit. And they were going to include nitrogen and phosphorus removal limits that our previous permit didn't have and our current plant couldn't treat. So we had to have a new treatment plant to get those out. There's been a couple of safety improvements out here. As you can see behind me, these are UV modules, ultraviolet light modules. Before we disinfected with gas chlorine. It's probably the most common disinfection method in the world for water, but it's inherently dangerous. It's dangerous for employees, staff out here, and it's dangerous for the community too as well if you would ever have a ruptured tank. So we got rid of that and went to ultraviolet, so increased safety. And reliability too. We were kind of on pins and needles at the beginning of this project, the end of the old plant, so having some increased reliability, increased redundancy has changed the game for us. There's naturally occurring microbes in your body that we facilitate and treat, and it does the work for us. They're just like us. They want air, they want water, and they want something to eat, and they want a comfortable place to be, so we provide them with all that. It's something that we keep a close eye on every day. We look at the microscope and ensure that we've got a good, stable sludge to treat. At the influent pump station, that's where there's 120 or so miles of sanitary sewer in Hays. It all converges right there to that influent pump station. The first step of treatment is the headworks facility. Really, with that headworks facility, what we're trying to do is get out the stuff that doesn't belong in the water. Stuff like rags, grease, kids' toys, silly stuff that gets flushed down the toilet. After that water is screened and degridded, it goes to the magic step, which is the aeration basin. The aeration basin is where we cycle air on and off to provide the oxic and anoxic cycles for, you're removing that BOD and ammonia during your oxic cycle, you shut the air off and those anoxic bugs come to life and deal with your nitrogen and phosphorus. Once it's done in that basin, it hits two final clarifiers. And those final clarifiers are really just like kind of a quiet zone to allow the clear water on the top and the sludge on the bottom to separate. We take some of that sludge and what's called return activated sludge, and we pump that back to the basin. So after it sits in that final for a little bit, those bugs in the bottom there are oxygen starved and hungry, so they're ready to do a lot of work for us. So we return about a third of those back to the process, and the other 2/3 we waste away. So after that clear water comes off of those finals, it comes through a disc filter system, which is a 40 micron system that'll take out any other things that may be in there, and then it comes through UV. So everything gets a small dose of UV, but anything that gets reused either on site here or at the golf course gets a super dose of UV, which is pretty much like hitting the water with a lightning bolt. Now back to the waste, so that stuff that we can't use, we further break down with air and time, and we end up spinning that through a centrifuge and land applying that on the farm fields, local farm fields, as a soil conditioner and a small amount of fertilizer, but it's a great soil conditioner and really helps retain moisture and good stuff for our area for sure. This plant, like most plants in the state, is designed to treat BOD, biochemical oxygen demand, and ammonia. This one is also a BNR facility, biological nutrient removal. We're able to treat phosphorus, also get out nitrates and nitrites from the water. Our old plant was putting out about 300 pounds of nitrogen per day, and again, I mentioned earlier, we're putting out 18 now, so that's a 94% reduction or something in total nitrogen release. So this thing, like I say, does what exactly as it was designed to do and better. We reuse about 25% of our water for irrigation purposes at the golf course, and we have a sports complex as well that traveling teams can come to. So we expanded irrigation capacity out there by 750,000 gallons. So we have about 4 million gallons in reserve out there all the time that it's just sitting there ready for a dry, hot day. And if we didn't have the ability to reuse that water, we couldn't have a great sports complex or golf course without being able to reuse water.